It's there! Holy moly, this one's gonna go big! Hello and welcome back to the channel. We've got Fruit Machine Emulation for this video, and it is a machine that holds a very special place in my heart. I have very many clear memories of playing this machine in Manchester back in 1994 when me and Mrs Degsy had first started going out together. Now, nobody seems to know exactly when this machine was actually released. The thread over at Desert Island Fruits by wearecity doesn't list a release date. I've had a look through all the posts about this machine and the description on the video from Mr Pease on YouTube. Nobody seems to know the exact date it was released. If I had to have a guess, I would say May or June 1994, because I remember a couple of these turning up in pubs in Manchester where me and Mrs Degsy used to drink. And we started going out in May 1994, and the first time I saw one of these was after we'd not been going out for very long. So I'm going to say May or June 94. Obviously that could be out. It may just be that I'd never seen any before then, but that would be my guess on this, that we're talking about a 1994 machine here. Now let's do the thanks, because wearecity here is responsible for the classic layout. He was asking about this machine back in November 2016 over at the Mecca to see if it would be possible to emulate it, and wearecity followed that up again. We managed to get hold of the ROMs and some images of it, and does it run in the new version of the emulator? It didn't. There were still some issues with it, but Wizard to the rescue here. Wizard there saying it needed a bit of tweaking. I have it running fine in V19. Check your PMs. And from there, wearecity was able to get the base layout running, got it into a work in progress, and that finally culminated in the actual released classic layout that we have now. So what I'll do, well, I'll just do a bit of the preamble waffle. We'll have this video playing from Mr Pease, and this will give you an idea of what the machine looks like in real life. I am more than happy with the classic. If one of our superbly talented DX creators out there fancies doing a DX of this, that would be quite the most exciting thing ever. But in the meantime, I am more than happy with the classic. I just remember this machine really clearly. I remember it turning up in those pubs in Manchester. Me and Mrs Degsy, where we both fucked our degrees really. Once our relationship started, there was no chance of either of us ever getting a degree, because we found, who wants to go to lectures or seminars when you can stay in bed shagging and go to the pub and get pissed? I'm afraid going to the pub and getting pissed generally won out on that one. So we were in the pubs an awful lot. I remember this machine turning up, and of course I did quite like my fruit machines back then. So I played this one. I remember very, very clearly playing this machine. I've had a little look round on Google Maps here. I can't find the actual pub where I got it in my head. I can picture it in my head, but I can't find it in central Manchester. That was kind of our stomping ground there. Central Manchester, down into Fallowfield, down into Studentville, all that kind of thing. But it was just pubs everywhere, wall-to-wall pubs. It was kind of a student town because you had the university and the Polytechnic. Lots and lots of pubs, and we spent a lot of time in the pubs. I remember playing this one, and I had a real soft spot for BWB machines, because this is a BWB, it's not Barcrest, and BWB had a style all of their own. And even though they were using the same tech, they were using the same MPU4 tech as Barcrest, somehow they just seemed to be able to do better things with it. They seemed to get better sound and light shows out of the machines than Barcrest could manage on the MPU4 tech. Now, the other thing with this cabinet that it was in, it actually had a pretty decent speaker. There was a Barcrest cabinet of the time that had a really shit speaker up at the top near the coin mech. It was kind of about there as the camera panned up, which had a pretty crap speaker, but this cabinet here had a pretty good speaker on the underside. It was kind of on the underside of where the buttons are, on the bottom of the cab, and it was a decent sized speaker, and it could kick out a reasonable sound. And there was one of the pubs in Manchester that had one of these machines, and it had a reasonable lick of volume coming out of it. And I remember thinking at the time, and even commenting to Mrs Degsy, bloody hell, the music's pretty good on this machine. And it's one of them machines that I would let the samples loop around a few times when I was playing it, because the sound package on it, the music package on it, was so very good. So when I started playing it in the emulator, this morning, it all just came flooding back to me as soon as the samples started playing. And even in the classic layout here, the kind of sound and light effects come through really well. Even the way that they do the lamping on when you're on the board and doing gambles and all that sort of thing. Of course, the sound emulation is perfect. And I was immediately transported back more than 25 years to when I was playing this machine in the pubs of Manchester, going out for drinks with Mrs Degsy in the early days of our relationship. It was just very, very evocative for me. So I guess it's possible that I'm kind of looking at this. Let's just start it again. Maybe I've got the rose-tinted specs on a little bit in that regard, but having played the machine, I played it for a good, 90 minutes this morning, and I think this is a solid, good, fun, entertaining AWP. It's a great game to play, so we're going to have a go on it in this video. I'll try and show you all the different things that are going on with it. I will be focusing on the brilliant sound and music package too, because it's fantastic. I would go as far as to say that this is one of the best sounding fruit machines ever. BWB have done a sterling job on the sound and music package on this one. Few little quirks about the machine itself as well, few things to be aware of when you're playing it. Loads going on. 20p £6 jackpot. I think I've said before that for me that was the perfect stake and prize combination. This machine has got it all. It's truly fantastic, so cannot say thank you enough to wearecity for doing the classic here. We wouldn't be playing this if he hadn't taken the time to ask about it, to get all the bits and pieces together. The guy who sourced the ROMs, of course, thank you very much to him, and to Wizard, because this was not running. Even in the latest version of the emulator, this was not running until Wizard had done a couple of tweaks, which, as you can see here, back in April this year, Wizard saying it needed a bit of tweaking. Now, BWB were late to the party anyway in terms of emulation, because they weren't actually emulated until version 3 of the emulator back in the early 2000s. They've always had like extra protection and stuff like that on them, so even though MPU4 was one of the founding techs, of course, of Fruit Machine emulation, because the emulator was originally called MPU34, BWB have always been a different kettle of fish. And they've always required more work to get them running. Didn't have them running at all until version 3 of the emulator, and even then there were all little kind of weird tweaks and nuances to them, and Wizard had to do a lot of work over the years to get BWB machines working. And then with version 5 and 6 of the emulator from 2016 and 2017, more BWB machines were then playable, such as the Big Match and Cup Final. I've done videos about those. And now this is the latest one that is finally emulated, finally can be played again, from 25 years ago, Sinbad. As soon as I saw this over at Desert Island Fruits, I was like, oh my god. When you go to Desert Island Fruits and you go to the home portal page, you can see the latest topics, and as soon as I saw Sinbad Classic UK BWB, I was like, oh, it's finally here. It's finally emulated. I can finally play it again. Sinbad has already had an hour and a half off me, and it will be having a lot more time off me as the weeks and months go by. So with all that said, let's actually have a go of the thing. Fortunately, wearecity has put quite a bit of cash through it. It's had a fair chunk of cash there through it, as you have 740 odd quid. It's not a million miles off being on percentage. It is a little bit under percentage, so hopefully we'll get a decent game out of it. So let's have a go. So we will start with a fiver. The S icons are our feature icon, and I am going to be bringing the volume of the machine up quite a few times in this video and just letting the samples play and loop a few times. If you're not as much of a fan of Fruit Machine samples as I am, that might get a bit tiresome, but I really love the sound and music on this machine, so I will be letting it do its thing when we get some nudges and when we get on the board and that kind of thing. One other thing to notice, and I will be drawing your attention to this, it actually has 3 different samples for when you're on the board. See here, the board is in a triangle shape. When you're on the first bit here, the bottom edge of the triangle, it will play one tune. When you get to that square there, Star Raider, it will go into an evolution of that tune for all the way up here. And then when you get to Trail Raider, all the way to the end, it will go into a third evolution, well, a second evolution technically, of course, of that tune. But there are basically 3 versions of the same tune with little bits more melody and harmony added in. So there's one for that, one for that, and one for that. It really helps give a sense of progression when you're on the board, and it was one of the things that I noticed when I was playing this machine 25 years ago in this pub where they actually had some decent volume on it. And I said to Mrs Degsy, the music on this one changes as you go around the board, and she's doing a little bop standing next. It's a really good little sort of dance beat, and she's doing a little bop next to the fruit machine. I swear to God, I'm not even exaggerating, I was getting a little bit dewy-eyed as I was playing this before, because I was just transported back 25 years playing a classic layout of a fruit machine in the emulator here. Remarkable stuff, it truly is. Come on, put it on the board, you tight bugger. So, oh, it can hold after nudges, but it did not do it there. One thing that you'll notice, by the way, let's just nudge that, is that it kind of randomly brings the trail up a certain amount. So when I've got no trail held, you don't actually have to do the whole thing. Watch it, it'll fill in sort of 1, 2, 8, maybe even 3 spaces. Can you see there, like that? Now, what I've got to do here, of course, is stop it on a 7, but you can press start and it'll auto do it for you, like that. So slightly sketchy gamble here. It's a pretty fair high-low gamble, this, in that you very rarely lose on good numbers. But oh, there we are. We've actually won on a pretty shit number there. So we can keep going round like that. What I want to do though here, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, I want to deliver. Oh, it might actually. And it auto-collects. I'd forgotten about that. I was actually trying to kill it off there. I forgot that it auto-collected if you high-low gamble all the way up. The reason I was doing that is I want to get the evolution of the music on the board. And if we exchange in on that side there, we're going to kind of start with the first evolution of the music. And I don't want that, because I want to hear the 3 different versions of the tune as we're going round. I mean, I'm not trying to play this optimally for profit here. I am just trying to demonstrate the machine, if you will. And it hasn't actually held there, so let's just see how many it goes up. No. It's been slightly mean here. Oh, there we are. So now then, what I think you do, when that hint there, you don't hold them all. What I think you do is you hold 2 of them, and then it should then give you a nudge for the thing that gets you in. Oh, it actually held for the feature there, which is fine. That is actually, the eagle-eared amongst you may recognise that music. It is the nudge music of Reno Reels. It's the same tune that Reno Reels plays when you have nudges. The difference on this is it will change. If we can get into this bit here now, the melody will change slightly as we get round the corner. See there, that little sort of piano bit that it's added in, and if we can get round to Trail Raider or beyond, it's going to evolve one more time and we'll get the 3rd version of it. And we are into Death Alley here. It does like to fuck you off at the end here. It's probably going to give the guard like 67 moves now. He may, if it's in a really bad mood, he may actually... Oh! Now that can kill us, that's your mystery.
I'm out of here.
How far back are we going to go? We've gone back, we've gone back to another mystery. Let's see what it does now.
Snakes.
Oh, that could be it. We could be in trouble here. And, okay. Okay, it's probably going to find a way to dick us here. It does like to land on that guard at the end as well.
I hate snakes.
Well, that's us dead, I think, is it? Unless he gets... Oh. Can you see there? All the lights. Now, it looked... This is one of the things that a classic can't really bring through, but can you see the way it's sort of strobing the lights around the entire feature board. We've got the lights strobing up the entry trail there. It was a fantastic looking machine, this. Really, really gorgeous, and particularly so... Oh dear. This is probably going to be the Bazaar. In fact, I'll lay money on this being the Bazaar.
Take my idol.
Oh, we actually bribe him. You start every single board, by the way, with an idol. You always start with an idol. So that means that you can bribe a guard once. Let's just see if we can get to the end feature here, which isn't actually that good. Well, we've got to the end. This is a very disappointing end feature. That's a quid. £3. £5.40. Oh, it's gone on. £6.40. £7.40, £8. Oh, okay, this is not a bad one. That's a tenner. This is far, far better. We have to put some money in. That's a tenner, isn't it? Oh, and that's it. That is, you know what? That is one of the better ones. Now, when I got the Real Raider feature before, it did two... I've had it a few times already. It generally goes for about a jackpot or a bit more than a jackpot, but it can do as bad as... The worst I've had today was a single £2.40 win. It gave me the double bars for £2.40, no repeat, and that was it. Now, there is absolutely no point trying to force this out.
It missed me.
And I found out playing this back in the day that there's just no reason whatsoever to try and carry on and get the Real Raider feature. The one that you actually want is that one there at the top, which is Trail. Oh, he's guard's gone for his lunch, which is Trail Raider. That is, in my opinion, the best feature on this machine, and it can go really, really big. Where's it going to put us?
Where do you think you're going? I'm going to the Bazaar. I'll give you £4.60.
Well, now in the wild, I would not haggle on £4.60, but for the video, we'll have a haggle.
Not enough. £5.
Go on, we'll keep haggling.
No way.
£6.
Pretty good haggling skills there. Got a jackpot off the haggle. Not bad going. It is worth holding. It can 3-hold for jackpots when it wants to. It can also hold the jackpot as well. Oh, nudges would be good for a jackpot here as well. So yeah, the features, to be honest with you, are not... Oh, now I bet you doesn't offer me more than like £1.20 or £1.60 here.
Get lost.
£1.40.
Get real.
£2.
Oh, £2. Oh, £2. Yeah, he wasn't going to give me another jackpot, was he? There aren't that many features on the actual board itself, and to be honest with you, most of them aren't that good. The things that you're really after, the main one is Trail Raider at the top. Star Raider isn't too bad. Real Raider isn't worth pushing for. Nudge Pot, of course, can be okay. The other one that you want to look out for is these secret passages, and they will take you into the middle there, and you'll get a dapple on those 5 features in the middle.
You're going.
That could be Bazaar again.
Take my idol.
See there, I'll lose my idol. He'll take my idol off me, so I've got to be careful now. I don't want to land on another guard.
I'm out of here.
Go back. That's not too bad. That one there is like a little skill stop thing on the alpha. Not that great, and I think it jumps as well, to be honest. So I'm not a big fan of that whip cash feature. We are going to take the secret passage here, and we'll go into the middle and see what it gives us. Oh, we'll have 240, and it can repeat. If it wants to, it will repeat. Yep, there we are. No, these are not great, are they? Come on. Anything over £2, I'll take it. Oh, fuck off. Oh, 120. But again, it can repeat. It will just keep repeating if it wants to. That's the other thing, and that's what I found out about this machine when I was playing it back in the day, is it will kind of give you what it wants to off whatever in a way, because just about everything can repeat on it. If you can get a jackpot on the reels, it can just hold it once or twice, that kind of thing. But the real big one, the real big potential is with this Trail Raider feature here. And when you collect it, it actually says on the alpha, is it the biggie? And what it does is it basically goes to 40p, and then back, then to 60p, and then back, then to 80p, and then back, then to £1 and back, and so on. And it basically works its way around every single cash value on the trail. It does like to get as far as £3, which is £16.20, I believe. If it gets to £3, you've got £16.20 in the bank, and then obviously it would have to credit break again to go to £4. I believe it can do the whole thing. So if you imagine every single cash value added up would be £26.20. That is a tidy little win for a £6 jackpot machine, and that's the one that's capable of it. And I very, very clearly remember, because I had Real Raider quite a few times when I played this machine for real, and I learned that it was Trail Raider that was the best feature. Real Raider was just not worth the effort of getting to it. It did like to dick you around right at the end of the trail with the guard catching you, or dicking you off with the snake charm, or landing on the guard there, binning you off to the Bazaar, or if you'd lost your idol, he'd just catch you. So the real feature that we're looking for here, and we're definitely going to collect. Oh, well, that was nice and easy. That will be for cherries.
Hello.
And we're definitely going to collect it if we can get it. Is Trail Raider. That's the one that we're after here. It's a bit of a sketchy gamble, but we'll go for it. Oh, we got away with it. Good, good, good. Now, Money Belt, as you can imagine, we all know what Money Belt is. Shall we, just for the sake of it, let's have a look at Money Belt. It's not great. These are not this is, yeah, I collected Money Belt once on the real thing and never collected it again, and you can see why. It can repeat, but I mean, you know, £1, awesome. Oh, it has repeated there. It's done it on the same credit as well, because I've got no credits in the bank. There, that's about as good as it's going to get on that, to be honest with you. That's £2.40 we've had off it. Oh, well, it's repeated again. But you can see it's never more than, you know, 140, 160 is often about your lot. But it's repeated a few, in fairness, it has repeated a few, so I will have that. It's weird in a way, because obviously it could just put 60s and 80s in there, but it appears to do it by just giving you a load of 20s and 40s, and then repeating 2 or 3 times. But I guess it's exciting to get a repeat, isn't it? So I can kind of see the logic in it to an extent. So what I'm really after, and what I will try and get on this video, is the Trail Raider fit. There you are, 3 holds for the top cash prize. And does that auto-collect? It does auto-collect, yes, and there's no repeater on it, which is a bit slightly disappointing. We've filled up the bank. Look at that. Bank limit, is that? It is just wall-to-wall fantastic samples, this machine. A really kind of bright and vibrant kind of sample package. Just suits the machine perfectly. Oh, we've got our super duper payout sounds now as well. That's a lot of tokens. That would be me and Mrs Degsy back to the bar spending the tokens on drinks. There we are, nice big bank collected out there. That was one of the good things when me and Mrs Degsy were out, because if you got a load of tokens, sometimes you're kind of a bit stuck if you're out by yourself and you were kind of just going out to play the machines and you dropped a load of tokens in the pub. Bearing in mind that all the pubs had different tokens, the idea was that you couldn't just get a whole load of tokens in one pub and then go to the next pub. So obviously there were only a finite number of designs of tokens, but generally speaking, the operators were smart enough not to put machines close together that were using the same token. So it could be a little bit of a problem if you're out by yourself and you landed like a token streak. It's like, well, what the fuck are we going to do with all these tokens? Me and Mrs Degsy did not have that problem because we would just go to the bar and spend them. When I'm playing this by myself, I do often just... Well, when I say by myself, when I'm not playing it for a video, I will often just let these samples just loop around a few times, nearly every single time. See, can you see there as well? Again, it doesn't come out the best on the Classic, but can you see the way it's doing all the lights there? It looks superb on the real machine. In a dark room, it looks great. I mean, if there's a DX out there for this, if somebody could take on a DX, if the resources out there are good enough for one of the DX wizards to come up with a DX, in my head it would be quite a dark DX with really bright lights, that would be. I probably wouldn't leave the house for a week, because I'd just be in front of my PC wanking 24 hours a day. You never... Come on, let's just see if we can get to the end. We got 4 nudges, that's obviously crap, so let's just see if it lets us get to the... It has let us get to real raid. Let's see if it's going to be a good one or a bad one. Well, it started strong. Oh, there's a jackpot up there. It started well. There you go. It was just £3. Basic £3 off real raid. That's no use. So, I need to stop... Oh, there we are. So we should be able to just press start there and it will auto-stop us at £1. You can be a little bit clever with that reel spin there on the middle reel. If you've got nudges, you can sort of get 2 of a kind lined up and then get the reel spinning, and that will allow you to get a win. Oh, well, nudge pot would look good. I'm going to stop collecting things. What I'm going to do here is stop collecting things and just try and get to a Trail Raider there. We'll take that. It may not be one of the better ones. Some of them are pretty crap. So, nudge pot up to 99 nudges there.
I'm off to dinner, but I'll be back.
He's out, guards on his lunch again.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm going to the Bazaar.
Right, well, you know what I'll do?
I'll give you 80p.
I'll give you 80p. We're just going to collect 80p here, because what I want to do... I just want to get it to the point where I can collect Trail Raider. But... this is a machine that I would humbly suggest you really need to play. This, for me, I would go as far as to say that this, for me, is the essence of Fruit Machine distilled into a single classic layout. This right here is perfect for me. If you were going to take the wonder of Fruit Machine emulation, everything that makes Fruit Machine emulation what it is, the opportunity to play these great old games again, evoking memories of 25 years ago in my case, and to be able to play it perfectly emulated here in the year 2019, thanks to the efforts of all of the people who gather the resources, make the layouts, Wizard himself. In fact, I will actually say it was actually wearecity himself here who put it very well indeed. Thanks go to everyone involved in FME, from Wizard right down to the T-Boy. That's a really good way of putting it, and that's what I'm kind of grasping for here, and weaRecity's put it far better than me. It's just to say thank you to everyone who does anything to make this possible in the here and now. Like I say, this for me is the magic of Fruit Machine emulation. The whole thing just distilled into its purest form. One machine that I remember so clearly from many years ago, and now I can play it again on my PC in the year 2019. This scene is 18 years old now. We've been playing Fruit Machine emulators for 18 years, and it still has the ability to knock me for 6 with stuff like this, and knock me for 6, of course, in the best kind of way, just with a sense of wonder and appreciation that something like this, that, like I said, just took me back. It immediately transported me back 25 years to the early days of me and Mrs Degsy's relationship, when we go out and get pissed together and get up to hijinks in central Manchester, have fun together in those early days of a relationship. So what I'm going to do now... it doesn't really matter. There we are. So if you stop it on a 2 of a kind, it can actually give you a hold as a 4A hold after nudges. Yeah, you know what, I've been getting away with some pretty sketchy gambles on that. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is probably just pause the video and I will get myself Trail Raider. We'll collect Trail Raid. Let's just see what... Oh, I'm sorry, I misheld then. That was my fault. I didn't press all the buttons. There are a few things to look out for. It will sometimes flash buttons out at you. Just do keep an eye out for... It doesn't always make it completely obvious with the big hint thing. So do keep an eye out for buttons flashing and that kind of thing and other kind of hints, because it will... There are quite a few little... I wouldn't say cheats, but a few little tricky things you can do on it to... If you're keeping your eyes open, there are a few things that you can pick up on. So we've got 99 nudges. Well, that was rather... Well,
20p.
20p, he'll give me 20p.
Not enough.
80p.
80p, we'll collect 80p, just because I'm trying to kind of get it happier so that it will offer me the Trail Raider feature, and hopefully it will be one of the bigger ones as well. So what I'm going to do here is pause the video and I'll come back when I've got Trail Raider ready to collect. Oh no, I've broken it. I put money in too fast. What have I done now? Malfunction. I've reset it and I've... Oh dear, well done, Degsy. You've broke the... I think I've set off a strim alarm or something, or it thinks it's got a jam. Let me see if I can fix it. No, I've busted it. Right, okay. I don't know what I'm going to have to do now is go to the originally downloaded layout. Fortunately, it had a lot of money through it as downloaded. Well done, Degsy. You can even break a fucking emulated fruit machine, you genius. Well, there we go. We are back again. It's a bit of a shame, 'cause it means I've lost all the kind of money that I've put through it today. But good old wearecity had put a decent chunk of cash through it, so we'll go back to what I was doing before, and I'll try and get the Trail Raider feature, and I'll try not to break the fucking machine this time. Bloody thing, it's just gone straight to the end. Let's just see what it goes. It is the... Oh! Look at that! That was the end feature. That was the top feature, Real Raider. It just went for £2. And I do remember it doing this to me back in the day. I learned pretty quickly there's no point fighting for the end feature on this thing. There we are. We've wanted a few quid to do that, but we have actually got it there. So I don't think I've got anything in the bank. So let's take Trail Raider. It might be a big one. It might not be. But just watch on the alpha what it says. I'll put a pound in so I've got some credits. The old superstitions die hard. You don't want to run out of credits on the street. Oh, it's collected it. Is it the biggie? Can you see there? Oh, it started at £1. I think the big one starts right at the start, so I'm not entirely sure what this will do, but let's see. Still going. It will go up one at a time. It can't be max because it... Oh, it didn't start at 40p, so it can't be the mega one, but... Oh, £7. £7. I don't know, I could be wrong. I mean, bearing in mind that we're talking 25 years ago, I've sort of got it in my head that the mega ones actually start at 40p and work their way up from there. So the fact that that one started at £1 sort of suggested to me that it wasn't going to be the super duper mega one. But do always collect Trail Raider. There's no circumstances where you will not collect Trail Raider. You always take it, and it can be certainly one that it does like to do is to take you all the way around to £3 from 40p, and like I said, that is going to be £16.20 if it does that. Okay, I'll just give it one last feature and then I will wrap this one up. Just see what it wants to give us. Just watch that music change, or listen to that music change. I think this one will be getting an awful lot of play off me, put it that way. Oh, what's it going to do?
It missed me.
No effect. Dodged it. Oh, what have we got? 3 nudges. Well, that's no fecking good, is it? Let's just push it. There's nothing else you can do at this point. I mean, there's no point collecting the nudge pot. In fact, can I actually get... Yeah, it won't even let me collect. It won't even let me collect it because there's no win. So we've got no choice. We've got to carry on. Oh, the guard's getting close.
Where do you think you're going?
I sense a Bazaar in my near future.
Take my idol.
Oh, no, we bribed him. We bribed him successfully. Well, it's either... It's going to be the end feature or the... No, we've made it. Let's just see what it does. Let's have one last top feature. But we've seen how bad it can be. £2. Literally £2. Oh, it has repeated. Oh, okay. Now it's got to credit break now because that's 540. Oh, Oh, well, there you go. It has actually given us a hold. So it didn't. The feature went for £5.40, which isn't awful. So we'll exchange over. Whip cash is not great, so we're not going to have that. Let's just see. We've got 2 nudges. No, that's only £1. Ah, Bazaar is now £6. See there, it gave us an ad, so we actually do want to get sent to the Bazaar here.
It missed me.
No effect from that. We dodged it. 2 nudges. We would actually quite like to hit the guard here and have him send us to the Bazaar.
I'm out of here.
Go back. Where's he going back to? £2.40. That's no good. Oh, go to the Bazaar. Perfect.
I'll give you £6.
Well, there we go. I'll wrap this video up here because I've been banging on for nearly 40 minutes about single £6 jackpot fruit machine from 25 years ago. You may not share my enthusiasm for this. I think the point I've been trying to make, and certainly the point that I made in the video about Spotlight, wasn't it, where for the guy who made that, I think Andy his name was, wasn't it, the guy who made that layout, that MPU2 machine for him from 1981 was like my Sinbad from 1994. You're all going to have those machines that you really remember playing, and to fire them up in an emulator is something quite magical, and for me Sinbad is one of those machines. Truly amazing to be able to play it again. Even if you don't have the kind of emotional connection to it that I have, I would strongly advise that you download this layout and give it a go, because just it stands on its own. I think even if you look at this objectively and you take away all the kind of emotional connection that I've got to it, I think this stands up as a first class example of how amusements with prizes could actually be amusing, i.e. they were fun to play, they were engaging to play. The real machine looked truly fantastic. I mean, it's a great classic by wearecity, but it doesn't quite. There are some things that you can't do with a classic, and this video, to be honest with you, is not great because it's in a very bright environment. You can see the lights reflecting down, the fluorescent lights reflected on it, but I think some of it comes over there. Can you see the way it's doing that strobe light that we saw early on? One of the pubs had it in a fairly dark side room, and it had a decent bit of volume to it, so it was a great machine. The aesthetics of it, the sound and light and music in a dark room were fantastic. Like I say, if there is a DX out there, that would be quite one of the most exciting things ever. I'm not complaining. I am delighted that there is a classic to play, but this is a machine I think that could benefit from a DX, because it just would add to the whole presentation of the machine and do this, what I think is a real old classic machine, fully do it justice. But I cannot thank wearecity enough for the classic enough, and I am more than happy just to be able to play the classic. It is quite magical. So with that, I will say thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will catch up with you next time, but for now it is goodbye.